All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do real well. And I want to say Shalom and salutations to all you Akim across the four winds pushing this truth so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. So, really quickly, just wanted to go into the fact that America is one big corporation. Okay, this is not a country. Okay, this is not a country. This is a big corporation. Okay, it's been a corporation since Esau, Edom. Okay, the so-called white man has came over here, raped, robbed, and pillaged this land and stolen this land. Okay, and claimed it as his own. Okay, all right. And history proves that, and also most importantly, the scriptures prove that. Okay, so Lord willing, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, this is edifying to the body and to the elect. All right. So first and foremost, you have Babylonians, aka Americans. All right, especially 2/3. All right, that have been Americanized. All right, that believe that we are as a people, okay, as a nation, all right, which are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians, okay, all right, believe that we are free, okay, and I hate to tell you, man, well, Salakia, I love to tell you, okay, all right, because it's my job, okay, according to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right, according to the scriptures, it's my job to tell you the truth, man, and it's an honor. Okay, and I love to tell you that that's a lie. Okay, we're not free. All right, we're not free and we're not saved. All right, we are yet this day in our captivity. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get that scripture, but let me read this first. All right, this is Wikipedia. All right, and it's the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay, and this is what the so-called Negro, all right, in America, all right, Jake 2/3, Jake loves to bring up, all right. So let's read it. The Emancipation Proclamation, okay, and it reads: The Emancipation Proclamation, or Proclamation 95, was a presidential proclamation, an executive order issued by the United States President Abraham Lincoln on September 22nd, 1862, and effective as of January 1st, 1863. I want you guys to remember that year, okay? 1863, okay? January 1st, 1863, okay? Remember that, all right? All right, it says it changed the legal status under federal law of more than 3.5 million enslaved African Americans, which we're not African, okay? We're not African, we're Israelites, okay? But let me read on. It says in the in the Confederate States from slave to free. As soon as a slave escaped the control of a Confederate government, either by running away across Union lines, which is running away from the states down south to the states up north, all right. It says, or through through the advance of federal troops, the slave was permanently free. Ultimately, the Union victory brought the proclamation into effect in all of the former Confederacy. The remaining slaves, those in the areas not in revolt, were freed by state action or by the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Right? The end. Right? We were freed. Right? Now, remember that date, January 1st, 1863, okay? Because what a lot of Americans, a lot of Babylonians, all right, don't know is that there are two constitutions. Yes, that's right. There's two constitutions, and if you do your research, you will see that there's two constitutions. Okay, look up the Act of 1871. All right, and that's why I said, remember that year, January 1st, 1863. Okay, because right after that, just a couple of years after. Okay, all right, and this is after the Civil War. Okay, you see, just a couple of years after 18 1863, all right, in 1871, all right, the Act of 1871, okay, came into motion, all right. And just to skim through it, brothers can look it up for themselves, okay. Just look up the Act of 1871, all right, and it'll be, you know, you can see for yourselves, all right. But so just to sum it up, in the Act of 1871, okay, that is when, right after the Emancipation Proclamation, also after the Civil War, okay, pretty much tore apart America, okay, and crippled America financially, okay. Pretty much the Congress, all right, through the District of Columbia, all right, which is Washington, D.C., okay, went to the international bankers, okay, aka the Rothschilds of London, all right, and Europe, okay, and they pretty much asked for a bailout, okay. They pretty much asked those people for a bailout, okay, and they pretty much did all of this behind the backs, all right, of the American citizens per se, okay. So when they did this, they actually committed treason, okay. It took the it took the Rothschilds of London in Europe, all right, the princes of London and Europe, all right, the Rothschilds. It took them about a month to actually come up with a contract or a plan, okay, for the Congress of the United States for America at the time, as it was called, all right, and pretty much created this debt, all right, for the United States for America, okay, and also got rid of the old Constitution, okay, and placed a new Constitution, okay, which pretty much gave America a debt, okay, a debt that they will never be able to repay, because the princes of London and Europe, which are the Rothschilds, right, wanted to take hold of America, okay, all right, and this is history, man. Like I said, look up the Act of 1871. This is right after the Emancipation Proclamation, when the slaves, all right, were freed, right. So what did this do? It actually did this. It actually gave people, all right, that had actual rights, all right. It gave them relative rights, all right, and privileges. It gave them relative rights and privileges, okay. All right. So before, all right, before this Act of 1871, all right, before this treason, all right, committed by the U.S. Congress, all right, behind the backs of the U.S. citizens, all right, at the time, all right, when they created this a new constitution and this deal and got this bailout from the Rothschilds, all right, the princes of London in Europe, okay, what happened was basically you can travel and do certain things here in America, okay. Now you have to have permission, okay. You also have to pay taxes and etc. Okay, so also a social security number, okay, which means you have to be registered to a Federal Reserve Bank, right? Which actually made you a slave, because it actually created a slave contract. You guys can look that up as well. That's why on your Social Security cards you have your name in bold capital letters. Okay. All right. You also get placed a number, okay, which is a Social Security number. Okay. All of these things make you a slave. Okay. And like I said, that's just a part of history that proves it. Okay. Now I'm going to prove it with the scriptures. Okay. And like I mentioned earlier, Lord willing, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, this is edifying to the body and to the elect, because this, what I'm about to read, actually applies to Jake. Okay. Even though Esau translated, Jake from the cotton fields, all right, to pretty much American citizens, as they would say, all right, pretty much translate them from slaves, from the cotton fields to slaves of the elite bankers. Okay, all right. So let's get to the scriptures. All right, first and foremost, let me get Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Okay, it says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity." You see, captivity is bondage, slavery. Okay, it says, "Where thou hast scattered us." All right, so where did the Lord scatter us? All across the world, man, in every nation. Okay, Jake is everywhere. Okay, the scriptures also mention that Jake is as the sand of the sea, who cannot be numbered. Okay, so we're everywhere. You have Jake that look like other nations that are actually spiritually through lineage, okay, of their fathers, goes back to being a part of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, you see, and you can tell that by their spirit. Okay. Jake is not in China. You know, Jake might look like a so-called China man, right? Over in China, right? But guess what? They don't do the things that a so-called Chinese man would do. You see, just to give an example, okay? Because why? Because he is by spirit and lineage, he goes back to being a Israelite, okay, an Israelite, all right, from the 12 tribes of Israel, okay. But let me read this over. Baruch 3 and 8. It says, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse." See? We are cursed, man. And that's why we're in captivity here in America and all over the world, but mainly here in America. All right? It says, "And to be subject to payments." All right? "According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power." Okay, Yahweh our power. Okay, all right. So the point is, we are yet this day in our captivity, and we're still in captivity. Okay, and that goes for all of you Christians. Hey, newsflash, you're still in captivity, man. You're not saved per se. Okay, you're not saved like Pastor Porkchop is telling you. You know, guess what? He's an agent, man. He or she is an agent. All right. You see, that's why they have 501c3 charters. Okay, look into that. All right, but let's continue. All right, and go to the book of Matthew. All right, chapter 24 in verse 13. It says, "But he that shall endure unto the end." All right, are we at the end? Well, Salakia, we are at the end, okay, but we're not at the very end, okay? Obviously, because days are still continue. We're still in captivity, okay? You go to sleep, you wake up the next day, you're still in captivity. You are not at the end, okay? Because how do we know? Because of the prophecies, okay? You see, because of the prophecies written in the scriptures that haven't come to pass yet, okay? It's coming, but it hasn't came yet. So we're not at the end, okay? We're living in the times of the end, okay? It says, "But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved." You see, so we are to endure unto the end, but only the elect will endure unto the end. You see, only the chosen out of the chosen nation of Israel. Okay, all right, the elect, the 1/3, and the 144,000. Okay, which consists of the 144,000. Excuse me. All right, you see. 12,000 out of each tribe, 12,000 men out of each tribe, okay? Also with the rest of the 1/3, okay? Those individuals, all right, will endure unto the end, okay? You see? And those the same shall be saved, as it says here in the scripture, okay? Let me get another one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, and let's go to verse 15. All right? Yep. And it says, and it reads, "But the Lord Yahweh liveth," all right, "that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north." Now, what's the land of the north? Okay. Look at all the continents in the world right now, all the nations. So like all the continents in the world right now. What is the only continent with the title or with the word north implanted within that title? North America, man. Okay, this is the land of the north. Okay, you see, America, man. All right, Satan's seat. All right, you see, because because America, all right, aka Babylon the Great, okay, which is also mentioned to be spiritually Egypt, so like it's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, okay, all right, because you have a lot of homosexuality going on around here. You have just to sum it up, you have a lot of wickedness, all right, downright wickedness that goes on right here in this place, all right. It says, "But the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north." Okay, see, this hasn't happened yet. All right, because why? Because we're still here in the land of the north. The scriptures say that after this place is destroyed, and it will be destroyed, okay, by thermonuclear fire, okay, also by the chariots, all right, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs, okay, those are IFOs, okay, those are actually chariots, okay, those are our, so like those are the elects vehicles of salvation, okay, that hasn't happened yet, all right. It says, and from all the lands whether he had driven them, okay, so that's the other nations, all right, like I mentioned earlier, you know, those Israelites that, you know, grew up from generation to generation, you know, that was in captivity over in like China, okay, they might look like a China man, all right, but their lineage goes back to an Israelite from one of the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, you see why? Because they were scattered there, okay, you see, because the Lord scattered us, all right. It says, but the Lord is going to bring us back together, okay? That's going to be true salvation, all right? Then we'll be saved. It says, and I will bring them, all right, I, the Lord, okay, will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers, all right? And that land is Israel, okay? And guess what? We're not in Israel, okay? The Lord hasn't delivered us from the land of the north, which is America, all right, and also other parts, other nations across the four winds, all right, across the world, all right, that He has scattered us. He has not uh, 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 given us salvation and brought us back to the land, all right, that was given to our fathers, which is Israel. He hasn't done that yet, okay, all right. So my point is, we're not saved yet, okay, yet, all right. And all of Israel is not going to be saved. All right. Only the 1/3, thus saith the Bible. 2/3 is going to have to be destroyed. All right. 1/3 will be brought through the fire. Okay. We're gonna get salvation. All right. 2/3 is going to be in the fire. All right. Let me also get Jeremiah. Let me just skip down to precept to that. Jeremiah chapter 3, and we'll go to verse 18. Okay. It says, "In those days, the house of Judah, right, which is the tribes of the, so like the southern tribes, all right. It says, shall walk with the house of Israel, which are the northern tribes, all right. It says, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, okay, out of the land of the north, which is America, all right, Babylon the Great. It says." It says, to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers, all right? And that is the land of Israel. That hasn't happened yet, okay? You see? So my point is, we are yet this day in our captivity still, okay? We're still in captivity, all right? As the scriptures say, all right? And as history proves, you know? So it says, matter of fact, let me get another scripture. Salakia. This is where am I? Okay. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1. Let's go all the way down to verse 68. Okay? Verse 68. Verse 68 through verse 75, okay? So it reads, it says, "Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh, power of Israel," okay? Just Israel, all right? And on this side, just the elect, all right? It says, "For he hath visited and redeemed his people." Okay, that's salvation, man. All right, you see, that's us being taken out of captivity, bondage, slavery. Okay, you see, and given true salvation. Man. All right. Verse 69, it says, "And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David." Now, who is that? That's Yahushua, man, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. All right. His real name is Yahushua, okay? You see? Verse 70 says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. All right. So guess what? There's also prophets here today. All right. Believe it or not. All right. The men that you see standing on the highways and hedges, making these spiritual epistles. All right. Which are notes, letters. Okay. You see, it's like a digital epistles. Okay. Digital notes and letters. Okay. All right. You see, in exhortations, all right, through YouTube, all right. These are the men, all right. Lord willing, we all are a part of that number, okay. Those of us that endure into the end, all right, we're going to be a part of that number, okay. All right, the number of the elect, okay. These are the prophets of today, okay, and that's why you see this kingdom, all right, or this queendom, all right, in Esau's rulership crumbling before your very eyes, man, all right. You see. Because the Lord put the words and the spirit on his men, all right, to go on the highways and hedges and prophesy the downfall of this queendom, man. And that's why you're witnessing it. Okay. And it's beautiful, man. It's Yapah. Okay. Yapah, which is Hebrew, all right, for beautiful. All right. Let me continue reading. Verse 71. It says that we should be saved from our enemies. All right. See, that's salvation, man. All right. We have not been saved from our enemies, man. You see, we are still in the hands, you see, of our enemies, man. All right. You see, it says, and from the hand of all that hate us, man. All right. And nobody hates us more than Esau, man. Okay. These other nations hate us, but nobody hates us more than Esau, the nation of Esau, Edom. Okay. The so-called white man. All right. He hates us, man. All right. And you could try to convince yourself, if that's true or not, but it's true, man. All right, just look around you. All right. Verse 72, it says, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. All right, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham that he will grant us that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies might serve him without fear. All right, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our lives. You see, all the days of our life. Salakia. All right. See, that's salvation. All right, that hasn't happened yet. All right, which further proves that we are yet this day still in our captivity. All right. So I also want to get one more, then I'll close it out. The book of Romans, chapter 13, and let's go down to verse 11. Okay, Salakia. And it reads, it says, and that knowing the time, all right, because us, the hopeful elect, okay, the Lord has given us a spirit, knowledge, and wisdom, all right, and has woken us up. You see, that now we understand and we know the times, all right, that we're living in. We understand that we're living in the end times, and we understand what the Lord expects of us. Okay, 2/3 does not understand. All right, and if you don't understand, then most likely you're a 2/3. All right, unless the Lord spares you, man, at the last minute, because that's in the scriptures as well. It says, in that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Okay. You see, the Lord has awakened us out of sleep. We have been awakened, okay? Or now we're what Jay calls woke, okay? But actually woke. You see? It says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, okay? You see? Our salvation isn't here. We have not gotten salvation yet. Okay? Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah. Not yet though. Okay? You see? This is in the scriptures, man. All right. You see, which also further proves that we are yet this day in our captivity, man. All right, which history backs that up, and also the scriptures, man. All right, the spirit. All right. So I'm gonna end it off there. All right. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rechak Wadash. Shalom and Abba Babal. Salvation is near.